The number one topic in question we hear is overbuilding of apartments. Do you agree with that picture of the city today? What are your thoughts and most importantly, your solutions? How do you balance the needs of development with the concerns of residents?
We do need to continue building, and we do need to continue building responsibly and sustainably. So one of the ways that I would like to address that is by looking at some solutions that might help. One is to improve our zoning code so that we can be more sensitive to what the people want to hear, and to improve engagement with the community around the kind of development that we want and the vision that we see for the future. I also think that we need a much stronger architectural review process, and if we are building beautiful buildings that people want to feel good about seeing in our city, and keeping the larger buildings where they already are, and keeping our neighborhoods, keeping that cultural and historic feel of our neighborhoods, I think that we can find the balance that everyone can feel good about. I think that communication has been a real problem here in Norwalk, because we're still adjusting to losing that everyday newspaper where we're getting the information that we need. So I think a way I can address that, and so that everyone knows what's going on, is the Mayor's Night Out, where I will go into the community with the staff, and maybe we could use local schools and do this on a quarterly basis, so everyone can be engaged and involved, and we are listening. The government is listening to what the people's needs are.
As many of you know, I have a completely opposite stance on apartment development. People are looking at this in two different ways, and I've loved having spirited debates regarding the benefit of apartment development. Either it be, does it improve Norwalk's economy, and is it, by stopping it, will we raise apartment costs? And just the first one is, does it help our economy? I can say definitively no from my experiences. I know there's data, I know there's talk. Just from my personal common sense view of this, I owned a service business in South Norwalk, surrounded by these new apartments. And I can say once in 5 years did I meet someone that actually lived in one. And the same can be said by every neighboring business owner. It's not about stats from Portland, Oregon, or whatever the case may be. I saw it firsthand. People aren't going to our local businesses. Shopping at Walmart through the self-checkout line, or shopping on Amazon is not helping Norwalk's economy. Second, housing costs. I believe Stanford will dictate our housing costs. One of the perks of having Stanford so near to us. People are not going to move to Norwalk and pay higher in rent if Stanford is dictating that cost. So I don't buy to that belief that we're going to raise housing costs by slowing apartment development. And also, I believe we sold Norwalk cheap to developers. I have been tapped into what's going on locally, and our neighboring towns and cities have been able to get large public apartment, amenities for the public in these developments. Huge infrastructure investments, and Norwalk is sold out cheap. We ask for solar panels, and we don't even get that. I'm sure you're all aware of that because you're all in the business community here. So my view on apartment development, it does not benefit Norwalk. It does nothing but put strain on our infrastructure and just made us a transitional city, which is not where I like to see the direction Norwalk go. We need to be a community again, and we've lost that. And a lot of you have been in this town for a long time. You've seen it with your own very eyes. Thank you.
I'm the one candidate that's going to be realistic here and tell people the truth. And the truth is that the city has to grow. You cannot just stop growing. You cannot just stop building apartments. That's something that can't be done. We use state funding. A lot of these projects are in place already. A city must grow to continue to thrive. And but it has to grow in a fashion that is smart and that respects the residents that are here, that supplements and helps the residents that are homeowners here. I will say both of my opponents to my right have voted for all these apartments that have been built. And now it's a little disingenuous to come out and say no more apartments, no more apartments. So that's something, no more apartments. So that's something that has to be said. So we need to grow. We need to grow as a city. And the smartest way to really have this happen is to have a real partnership with the developers, the state of Connecticut, and the city of Norwalk to make sure these developments are built in a fashion that provides green space first and foremost to help our water runoff, to help our environment while we're doing this. Make them more affordable, but we need to bring in a tremendous aspect of first-time home ownership. We need to support our young people that were raised here in Norwalk, that have left Norwalk because they cannot purchase a home. Home ownership is the #1 path to wealth in our economy, in our country. That's how it works. You buy a home, you build equity. Well, we've taken that ability away from all the young people that have grown up here. I know I have 3 children and they're struggling. They are really struggling. I'm very fortunate and blessed to have 3 children that want to stay in Norwalk. But they're not the norm. They're the opposite. All of their friends have moved away. So we need development. We need to, for the first time ever, I'm going to do everything I can to usher in a new era of home ownership, whether it be condominiums built, whether it be small homes. We need to do this to create balance. At one time, City of Norwalk had balance. We had starter homes, we had condominiums, we had affordable rental apartments. This past 2 administrations have not, like I keep saying, not knocked the apple cart over. We have no more balance. There's whole entire communities that I've had friends that have grown up in that are gone. They're bulldozed to build apartments. And once again, I'm not against growth. And to say that you are is not being realistic. It's not being genuine with the people in this community. You have to grow. You have to have apartments, and we have to address the affordable housing in a realistic manner. To say that we're going to build apartments at $2,500 or $2,600 a month is not realistic to someone who's making $1,000 a week and has 2 children. It's just not realistic. Thank you very much.
Well, in full disclosure, the overdevelopment is actually what motivated me into politics in 2023. So my answer to your question is sort of yes and no, as I have progressed into a politician. We do need expansion. I do believe that continuing expansion in our, doing density in our urban environment is probably the best course to actually grow and evolve into the city. There has been a lot of speculation as to whether we are a town or a city, and here everybody, it seems like we're all getting on the same page of making us a city. So how do we do that? And how do we take, again, the burden off the suburban homeowner, the single family, they have the opportunity to exist and have the American dream. The younger demographic that is coming in, they're not helped by that solution. So how are they gonna be able to afford some aspect of quality of life, get some, manner of savings in an environment where you're paying, 50% of your wages to just sustain? I mean, the cost burden drops to 30%, but the reality is most people are paying 45, 50% just to exist, not even to thrive. So, I'm yes to some and I'm no to others. It really depends upon what the contract is. Again, building out by our metro center is absolutely crucial. And again, it has to be in conjunction with building out our multimodal metro system. This case in point, I did 20 months car-free in this town just to see if it was viable. I'm from New York originally, so I'm not transit phobic, and we have made great improvements. We will definitely need to make more if we're going to be attracting, say, 2,000 more, 100K plus professionals to afford basically the market value to live and play in Norwalk.